Yo heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. There was just too much to cover with my Batman 2023 video, so I had to make a part 2. I had no choice. Let us start with the call. Let's remove the material. Also, you'll notice without the material, what I was actually using was the Astro Slimline chest piece. It's pretty much the one option we have if we want to have a Slimline chest piece with only one color. And here you can see the fishnets without the material, obviously. So for the headpiece here, I'm using the Bat headpiece. It's fairly similar to the Dark Knight cowl, but it's different enough. Here we have the Bat headpiece and their Dark Knight cowl. The Bat headpiece, their Dark Knight cowl. The Bat headpiece, their Dark Knight cowl. Obviously the ears are longer, but also the way the cowl reacts to the light is a little bit different. Sadly, you have to get it from the marketplace, and it is part of the Ultimate Batman bundle. Although you do have a whole bunch of stuff in the Batman bundle, you get the Batman Beyond style, you get the Bat Call, the Swarming Bat Aura, the Bat Drone, the Bat Signal opening device, the manual air, which brings me to the Batman Beyond style. Way back when, to recreate the Batman Beyond, we had to use the Batwoman t-shirt. But eventually the devs did give us an official Batman Beyond style in this universe online. Technically, the devs cannot give us styles from animated series or TV series or stuff like that. They can only give us styles from the comics. But there was a bit of a loophole. Basically, at some point, there was a future end storyline where Batman Beyond from like 15 years in the future was brought into the DC universe and was made canon into the comics. So they were able to give us that version of Batman Beyond in DC universe online. And there's the enhanced version with some shiny bits. Although for some reason they decided to give a weird, texture to the costume somehow. So I kind of prefer the black of the regular version. If we could have like the black from the regular version and the shiny bits from the enhanced version, that would be pretty awesome. Maybe hopefully at some point they'll make a version combining those two elements. We'll have to wait and see. Also for the headpiece, you may notice like they've sort of separated the area around the mouth of the character somehow. At the time we thought we could be able to use it to get a long-eared bat call. Sadly, the way they separated the colors on the mask, we cannot put the area around the mouth skin color, which is a strange choice because you can see in the model there is an area around the mouth that's been sculpted for the character, but somehow they decided to separate the colors differently. I guess for some reason they did not want us to be able to use it to get a long-eared bat cowl. Oh well. So you can get the enhanced version of the style from the Ultimate Batman bundle, and there's also a modified Beyond enhanced jacket style. Let's take a look. So basically the modified version is a version without the emblem. So we can pretty much put the emblem we want on the chest piece, although the emblem is a little bit small, although for the Legion emblem it works fine. Somehow the Legion emblem is a bit bigger than the rest. You can see how small the Batman Rebirth emblem is. Or the enhanced Flashpoint Batman emblem. Holy crap, it is small. There's also the Batman Family Pack where you can get the Batman Beyond style. In this case, you do get the regular version of the style, if I'm not mistaken. But you also get the Robin style, a Nightwing style, and a Huntress style. Like here, when you can see the Batman style, it's actually the Batman Beyond style. It also gives you the Swarming Bat Aura, so it gives you another alternative to be able to get the Swarming Bat Aura. And it gives you stuff like stabilizers, source marks, and more. You could try to buy it from the broker, although they don't seem to have the complete style on the broker right now. And I have to give my usual broker warning, prices on the broker changes all the time. These are the prices on the broker right now. Tomorrow, next week, next month, and clearly tonight, the prices could be different. So the less bad option might be to just buy it from Booster Gold. The style originally came from the Gotham Time Capsule. So again, here you can see you have the enhanced version of the style, and you have the regular version of the style. Although for the enhanced version, like the modified enhanced version, the chest piece, you have no choice, you have to buy that from the marketplace. But for the style itself, you can get it from Booster Gold. You can see the prices here in Quarks, but you will have to farm for Quarks in order to be able to purchase the style. You can get Quarks opening the free time capsule this Universal Land gives us a couple of times a month, or you can decide to purchase Quarks from the Time and Space vendor. So it will cost you 100 source marks for 25 Quarks. Yes, it is a bit pricey, but if you don't want to spend money opening time capsule, this is an alternative. So for the Swarming Bat Aura, you saw there's two alternatives where you can get it from the marketplace, but you don't have to. You could also get it from the Halloween vendor, but that means that you will have to wait for the Halloween seasonal to come back in order to be able to purchase the Swarming Bat Aura from the vendor. In my previous video, I did not cover the evil dark metal Batman like the Red Death and stuff like that. Technically, I already made a video about those characters, but let's take a look at these just in case. So here we have the evil Red Death. This here is the NS version of the style. I should probably remove the aura so that people don't think it is part of the style. So this here is the regular version of the style. The regular version of the style looks pretty awesome. Let's remove the aura again. But the enhanced version is a bit more awesomer with a little bit of lightning effects built into it. You could try to get the style from the broker. Here you can see you can get some of the enhanced speed metal style. And here you can see the regular version. But if somehow you don't want to buy it from the broker, let's go take a look at our friend Booster Gold. So the gear comes from the Paradox Time Capsule. I guess another option would be to try to purchase some Paradox Time Capsule from the broker and open them. The less bad option sadly is to farm for quarks and purchase the style from our friend Booster Gold. So you do have some options, you decide. And next we have the evil Dawnbreaker. We could pretty much somewhat recreate the Dawnbreaker in this Universe Online for some time, but at some point the devs decided to give us the official Dawnbreaker style. And in this case, you will not have to go see Booster Gold, you will not have to play the broker, you will have to go to Thanagar. So once you're on Thanagar, you have to come see your friend here, the Green Lantern Supplier. And this is where you can purchase the style. And the style is called the Damage Lantern. Somehow the gear is called the Lethal Blackout for DPS. And Cracked Blackout for Controller. And for the price of the gear, if you come and you see the price is more expensive, once you purchase the gear once, you do get a discount afterwards if you want to purchase the gear again for your alternate role. So you can get the regular version of the style from our friend Green Lantern Supplier, but there's also an enhanced version of the style. There's a little vendor over here. But the bad news is that for the enhanced version of the style, you have to play the elite content and raise your elite renown. It's sad, but that's how it is. So if you do not play elite content, you will not have access to that style. So sadly, some of the styles are locked behind the elite content, so a lot of people will not have access to those styles. And next we have the evil Batman Who Laughs. The costume should be black and silver for the Batman Who Laughs, but I kind of like to give it the Joker color scheme of green and purple. But you decide, you can pretty much customize the colors as you wish. Maybe I should remove the aura. So there you have it without the aura and the accessory. At this point in time, you pretty much have no choice. You have to get it from the broker. And it is not available on the Booster Gold vendor just yet. So right now, the broker is your only choice in order to be able to get the style. Originally, the style comes from the Dark Knight's Time Capsule. I guess you could decide to purchase Time Capsule from the broker and open those to try to get the style. Sadly, you will get the style at random. So the odds of getting the whole style would be pretty slim. Odds are you will have to open a lot of those Time Capsule in order to be able to get the style. And also, even if you purchase those from the broker, you still have to use stabilizers to open them. So right now the broker is pretty much your only option. Eventually it will be added to the Booster Gold vendor. Sadly we don't know when it will be added. And next we have the War Metal style. I think it kind of fits better on a bigger body size, so that's what I'm using to show off the style. In this case, you will not need to get it from Booster Gold, you will not need to play the broker. Let us go to Metal Gotham City. So in Metal Gotham City, you will be able to talk to Detective Greggs, and that is where you can purchase the style. As usual, once you do complete the style once, then you do get a discount if you want to be able to purchase the style for your alternate role. And there is an elite version of the style, which sadly is locked behind the elite content. So you will have to play the elite content of Metal Part 1 in order to be able to purchase the style from our friend Sal the Snitch over here. So you don't have to play the broker or to buy it from Booster Gold, but if you do want to have the enhanced version of the style, you will have to play elite content. It's sad, but that's how it is. And next we have the Evil Drowned. The style is the Drowned Pirate. So this here is the enhanced version of the style. It's a pretty cool looking pirate style. And this here is the regular version of the style. The style comes from the Cursed Gotham Time Capsule, which means that you may have to look on the broker, but sadly, as you can see, there's barely any pieces of the style. So you will have to come and see your friend, Booster Gold. So here you can see the regular version of the style, and the enhanced version of the style. And no, the Swarm Combat Aura is not part of the style, I just forgot to remove it. And next we have the Evil Barbados. Full disclosure, when I first saw this character in the DC Comics, actually I saw him in the promo for the Dark Knights comics, seeing how all the Dark Knights were basically Batman mushed with some other characters. So Red Death was Batman with the Flash, the Batman Who Laughs was Batman with the Joker. I thought this was Batman with the Spectre. Turns out that Barbados is something else entirely, but with the little knowledge I had at the time, I thought this was Batman and the Spectre, and it's pretty much what I ended up doing. So this is the Dark God style, but it's only really the back piece and the headpiece. Actually, the belt is the Dark God as well, but the belt is also the Omnipotence gear that you have to upgrade. But it gives us a pretty cool looking version of Barbados, if you want to. For the shorts, the gloves, the boots, I take anything you like, doesn't really matter. For the Bat Totem, you can see the regular version for about 2 million. You can actually purchase the hood and the wings from the broker. But don't waste your money, just go to Thanagar. So for the hood and the wings, go see the Thanagarian supplier. So you can see the hood for 100 source marks, and same for the wings. And for the belt, sadly you will have to get the Dark God's Force Mold as a drop. You will have to get it from Into the Dark Multiverse mission. I'm not sure if it's a random drop or if you need a specific combat rating in order to be able to get it to drop. That is where you can get it, but even once you get it, you don't have the belt just yet, then you will have to upgrade it until you actually do get the belt. And seeing how we're already in Thanagar, this is where you can get the Bat Signal uplink device for 50 source marks. And as the name says, it is a Bat Signal uplink device. It's pretty straightforward. There's also the Blackout uplink device. You might get it as random drops playing Metal Part 2 missions, but personally I just bought it from the broker. Another thing you can get is the Robot Batman headpiece. It's an evil sort of Brainiac version of the Batman. For quite a while, if you wanted to have a headpiece with the nice little bat ears, this was the less bad option we had. The easiest way to get it is to just buy it from the broker. So here you can see it for 3 million. At the very end of the Batman quest line, you have to go into Star Labs, you have to find a whole bunch of robots into Star Labs, and then you have to go into the Bat Cave. And in the Bat Cave, you will fight Robot Batman. And you have a chance to get the head at random from Robot Batman once you defeat it. Sadly, you only have a chance, so you will have to play the mission over and over and over again until you get lucky enough to get the headpiece as a drop, which is why I'm saying that the easiest way to get it is to just buy it from the broker. Another Batman headpiece we have is the GCPD Knight Helmet. If you played the Origin Crisis, you probably remember seeing this version of Batman in some of the missions. In order to be able to get the headpiece, you will have to get all the briefings from the family reunion and from Brothers in Arms. And once you do, you will get this headpiece by mail. There's also the GCPD Batman Shield. You can get it as a random drop when you're defeating the GCPD Batman in the game. Sadly, the drop rate is about 5%, so you will have to fight it over and over again until you get lucky and get the shield, or you could simply buy the shield from the broker. So you can see it's 500,000, so unless you're a free-to-play player, just buy the shield from the broker. And I guess we should also mention the Batman Santa headpiece. It's something you can get from the Christmas seasonal vendor, and sadly, you will have to wait for the Christmas seasonal to be back. It's sad, but that's how it is. Overall, it's not a bad looking mask. I'm sure a lot of people wanted to get this Batman mask without the Santa hat. Maybe someday. I should probably mention there is some Batman posters we got a couple of years ago. So DC Universe Online decided to give us a whole bunch of Batman related posters that had to do with that comic. I believe these are either alternate covers for the comic or pin-ups that was in the comic. And we got a big version of the covers and a smaller version of the same cover. So obviously we got a cover by Jim Lee, Greg Capullo, Bruce Timm, Jim Steranko, Bernie Wrightson, Tim Sale, and of course, Frank Miller. Sadly, those were available for a limited amount of time, so there's no way to be able to get those nowadays. And there's also the Bat Drone accessory. There is a Bat Drone that we could get way back when from the Collector's Edition. Sadly, at this point in time, there's no way to be able to get this Bat Drone. But as you guys may have noticed, in the Ultimate Batman pack, we do have a Bat Drone accessory, and this is the drone we do get from that pack. And it is gone. Although you don't have to get the drone from the Ultimate Batman pack, you can get the tier 1 version of the drone from our friend Chang Tzu, but it will cost you 100 source marks. For the tier 2 drone, it'll cost you 400 source marks. There's also some requirements that you need to fulfill before you can actually purchase it. And the same for tier 3 sadly. You can also get the drone as a random drop playing the Gotham City Zoo mission. Sadly, I have no idea how rare it is, so odds are you will have to play that mission over and over again, hoping to get the drone as a random drop. And another option is to get the drone from the broker. Sadly right now they seem to only have the tier 2 drone, and it will cost you $70 million. So either you farm and farm Gotham Zoo hoping to get the drone as a random drop, or you farm and farm for cash and try to buy it from the broker. And I guess we could take a look at the various Batman allies, but before we do that, long before we got the allies, we got the Gotham City emergency signal. And depending if you play a hero or a villain, if you play a hero, you summon the Batman. And if you play an evil villain, you'll summon the Joker. Basically, it's pretty much the prototype for the allies. So you summon Batman to help you in combat, and then afterwards there's like a 10-minute cooldown before you can summon him again. But then later on, they gave us the allies. And the first one we got was the Flashpoint Batman ally.
They're all stubborn, defiant, naive.
And you notice it's not Bruce Wayne, it's Thomas Wayne.
I know just what you need.
And then we got the Batman Who Laughs.
Don't you know? Batman always wins. Sometimes one must cross a line to become who they were truly meant to be. Interested?
And then they give us the Death Metal Batman.
Death is a double-edged sickle. I've learned to wield.
I'm always ready. There's nothing more. Let's go.
And eventually, they finally gave us the Batman.
Don't let the villains win. I've been watching you. Keep up the good work.
And they even gave us the Bruce Wayne ally.
R&D said this was powerful. I feel like my new initiatives are getting real traction in Gotham, don't you?
But the Bruce Wayne ally is just a joke. It's something that they've decided to give us as a joke, but I have to specify it because I've seen some people who made videos about this universe online. Either they were new to the game or they just came back to the game after a long time and never realized that the Bruce Wayne ally was just a joke. It doesn't really do anything. And I should mention the manual error. For the manual error, you pretty much have no choice. You have to get it from the marketplace. It is included in the Ultimate Batman bundle, but if you get it from the bundle, you only get it for the one character. But if you do buy the manual error bundle, then you get it for every single characters on your account. Also, when you purchase the manual error, you do get the Manor Decor pack that comes with it. Although you can purchase the Manor Decor pack multiple times if you want to, but you do get at least one when you do purchase the lair. So once you do purchase the lair, you will already have some base items in order to be able to start decorating it. But I have to specify, Minotaur Gate sold separately. I should probably make a tour of my lairs eventually. I'll have to think about it. So as you can see, it is a pretty big lair, and there is multiple rooms. So here we have our mainframe. Here I started decorating it a bit, but it's still a work in progress, obviously. But the best part about this lair, I'll show it to you in just a minute. So here's some more decoration in process. But the best part about the lair, it's a bit glitchy, but in the Manor pack, you do have a secret entrance. So when you click on the statue, it does open the bookshelf, which leads you to a smaller bat cave in the back of the Manor lair. So here you have the area over here where you can put a whole bunch of stuff, but even down there, there's a whole bunch of stuff you could put down here as well if you want to. We already have the cave lair that kind of looks like the bat cave, but here we do have a bat cave that is linked with the Manor lair. So you decide which option you prefer, although you could have both. You could have the Manor lair and then maybe use your teleporter to go into the second part of your lair, which would be the cave lair. You decide. Yeah, I still have a lot of decorating to do. What can I say? So it is a pretty big lair and a pretty awesome lair. Although if you prefer, you could decide to use the cave lair instead of the Manor lair. You decide. So obviously the cave lair is a bit smaller, and sadly in the cave lair, like there is room to put the T-Rex, but it is a tight fit. So there's a whole bunch of bad computers you could get from the marketplace, various trophies, and more. And of course, the Batmobile. If you're wondering how come I have multiple Batmobile, quite simple. I bought multiple Batman base item packs. Of course, you could use the cave lair and decide that it is just some sort of extra levels to your Manor lair, and you could use your teleporter to go between the two. You decide. So the cave lair is a bit of a smaller lair, although it does give you a bigger bat cave, but it is smaller than your Manor lair. Decisions. So are you going to use the Manor lair, the cave lair? You decide. And I almost forgot to mention, if you're wondering about the character belt I'm using, it's the DC Bombshell Harley. Sadly, you will have to get it from a marketplace. You will have to go to Styles, to DC Bombshell Harley Styles, and you actually get a full Harley style, and the belt is just one part of the style. And it'll cost you $5, $4.50 if you are a subscriber. So at this point, we pretty much have an embarrassment of riches in order to be able to create a pretty cool looking Batman costume. But also we have a whole bunch of accessory, of lairs, of base items, all that good stuff to be able to recreate the Batman. So in 2023, if you want, you can be the Batman in this universe online.